This is my dungeon that I'm in. It's a small room. Small room in a house that we're renting. It's down in the bottom floor. It's a 2-story house. And I was just thinking, it's what, Friday night? First game of the World Series. Texas Rangers. I'm going to turn this off. Texas Rangers playing Arizona. I'm not a big, I used to be. I'm not a big baseball fan anymore. I'm not a big sports fan, I guess. I just, I got a bad feeling whenever everything started turning political. I was a big, down in my 20s and 30s, I was a big sports fan. I very seldom watch sports anymore. I don't watch football. Big Dallas Cowboy fan back in the day. Back in the 70s and 80s. Big Dallas Cowboy fan. But after a while, after they got rid of Tom Landry, I kind of don't watch anymore. Big football fan when it's in high school and college, but that's about it. I am down in, it's a spare bedroom, and you see I got all these. There's actually some more back there. You can see them. Probably gonna do this whole wall with t-shirts. I put this together today. I'm trying to figure this shit out. Intro. Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It doesn't cost anything. You just gotta join. I am starting to put podcasts on Spotify. These podcasts right here. These podcasts right here will all, because I'm going to download all of them onto Spotify. This is extra finger, I guess, to get social media, get out there and start talking about stuff. I hope you guys can hear me. Kind of ramble here for a minute. Facebook, I'm topped out at friends, so if you can join, you'll get the, when you join the channel, you get the same thing you're getting now. I need to get rid of a few of the friends that actually are disguised as bots, I guess, and they are taking up space. And guys, you ever get on Facebook and you have those people on there that don't really belong on Facebook, or they're just trying to sell a glove or some shit like that? I mean, I have a lot of those, and I go through them every once in a while to get rid of them. I have people that steal other people's accounts on Facebook and get up there and try to friend everybody. And then, you can always tell those ones because their profile picture is kind of got little heart signs underneath it. It's got like this little wreath underneath it. You can usually tell. And they only got like 2 or 3 friends, and I know this person should have like 5,000 friends, and he's got 2 or 3. So unless he started his channel over again. Take a little bit to get started here. I'm kind of rambling a little bit. So I've got a Senior Softball Bat Reviews Facebook page too. It's a business account page. Also got Instagram. You guys can get information over there on Instagram. I'm going to kind of go through a lot of shit tonight. I've been watching other podcasts of other people, with other bat reviews. You see a lot of podcasts now. People start chiming in and giving their information, or getting a group of people together and just start talking. I think that's great. I think a lot of people that are watching this one actually need information. And I think what's the best way to do it is, everybody get together and collaborate and do podcasts, on their own. Who's really taken off is I think he's on the East Coast, is Ed Rose. He's doing a lot of talking to the old timer guys. He's one of those guys that's been playing ball for a long time. He's got a channel out there, The Art of Hitting, I think. I watch a few of his. You know, he really focuses on the older guys, and I think they have a lot to contribute to senior softball. A lot of the older guys, so listen to them. Don't, you know, just listen to what they have to say. Kind of take it, and if you want to use some of it, that's fine. It's all about, you know, what you know. I always listen to people. You know, even to this day, I like getting information from people and actually applying it to my swing, or not necessarily on things that I do like the reviews, because I think, you know, what we do is actually a great service to a lot of you guys, and I think what we're doing is educating. And I'm going to get to something I'm going to talk about here in a minute. It might not be what a lot of people believe in, you know, but it's just something that we started doing a while back that actually makes you think outside the box. You know, you're not doing the same old shit, you know, whatever feels good in your hands kind of shit, you know. We actually make you think a little bit. You actually have to think about this. It's not that easy. You know, like I listened to a podcast this morning before I came on here because I wanted to get information, wanted to hear what they were talking about. And it's not as easy as this person was saying it was. It's, you know, I believe that, and I'm going to kind of go on that in a minute, talking about what he was talking about. And I want you guys to go see this podcast and just listen to him. He has some interesting things to say, but he's one of those younger guys, you know, that has that swing that that everybody, you know, that he's got that fast swing. And I think what we do here is we help a lot of the guys with not that fast to the swing. You know, I think there's a lot more of those guys out there than there is those guys that are playing conference ball that are under 40 years old. You know, I think, you know, when you start getting to your 40, 45, 50, I think your bat speed diminishes. Doesn't matter what you do. You know, the thing about what we try to teach here is with workouts and supplements is try to keep up with father time. I heard Ed Rose talk about that, you know. And it's a grind. Every day is a grind to keep up with father time, to keep up with the competition. And if you skip some, it just creates bad habits and you fall behind, and it's hard to catch back up. I'll talk about that podcast here in a minute. Still fighting that cold. So get on my, I have, right when I get off here, and I said this last week and I didn't do it because I wasn't settled in. I was actually still moving last week. And now I'm settled in. I'm going to get to 2 bat giveaways tonight, right when I get off of this. I have everything set up, and I just finished all this today, like I talked about. And I'm going to do 2 bat giveaways. I know one of them is going to be a Johnny Bailey, 26 ounce. And I don't know what the new one's going to be because the Johnny Bailey's an old one. The new Johnny Bailey. I think it's right. It's right here. This is the Johnny Bailey 26 ounce. A lot of guys have been talking. I've seen this. I'll kind of go off and talk about this. A lot of guys have been talking about these have been cracking. Well, I don't think they're cracking. I think they have a seam that's creating on the bottom of these bats, like right in this area, right where the M's at. There's going to be a seam right here when the bat starts to break in. It does nothing to performance. It doesn't implode. But what happens is if you kind of drift a little bit further down this way, you're going to get probably a break in that bat. I was told Miken's aware of it, and I think they're trying to work on the issue right now. But I've heard a few people out there are actually damaging, you know, whenever that seam starts. You know, if you hit a ball right on that seam, it's going to collapse a little bit more and probably crack that back, get a little bit of shark tooth down in this area. And before I talk about the shaving part, but I want to talk about something too. We talk about this time of year. Today it was 85. Those guys are playing in Dallas this weekend are going to get rained out. I guarantee you. When it says 60, 70, 80% chance of rain in Texas, it's going to rain. Usually with the 20, 30%, you can kind of, maybe the 40%, you can kind of hold off. You guys up in Dallas, listen to this. I know a few of you guys are. I think it's at the senior tournament, and you're going to get rained out. because it said, I looked at the weather, it said like 60, 70, 80%. That means it's going to rain. And I don't know if it's going to rain on you, because the way we work in Texas is scattered thunder showers. They come in and they could hit your area, 3 blocks down, they can miss you. So I hope it does. I hope you all guys finish out that tournament, because there's a lot of good teams flying in from out of state to actually play in that tournament. So I hope you guys, all the luck. I don't know if you're going to be able to finish that one up in Dallas. But what we have is next week's cold front coming in on Sunday night. It's supposed to be really cold here on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And you know what happens whenever it starts getting cold, right? Especially you guys up north. It starts to get cold on y'all. Facebook lights up of all of these cracked bats. And I'm telling you, it's not like it was 5 years ago. It's not like the bats are so fragile because they're so high tech nowadays. You guys are grabbing your gamers next 2 weeks, and you guys up north are already cold, and you're taking them out and you're starting to hit them, and you're going to crack them, and then you get on Facebook and bitch and complain about you cracked your bat. I got 10 swings on it. It blew up on me, And I've said this in the past. I've said this in a lot of other videos about cracking bats. It's just not your bat that's cold. It's actually, it's actually the balls that are cold. Where did you have the balls the night before? Where did you have your bat the night before? Was it in the garage? Was it right outside this door on me? Was your garage heated? I mean, there's so many variables that go into cracking a bat, where the ball's waterlogged, I go through on us, like somebody was asking me the other day on, how many sets of balls do we go through? We have 7 duffel bags of balls. I go through those balls twice a year. I go through them at the beginning of the year, and I go through them at the end of the year. Halfway through, I think we hit for probably 12 months in a year. We hit for 11 months. So 5.5 in, depending on when I got them. I go through my bag. I throw out all the ones that are old because I mark them on what dates I get them. I have a different mark on them, a different marker. Been doing this for years, so that's kind of like what I do. I take them next door, and I'll give them to the seniors that are over there, or we have other seniors that hit off 151 here in San Antonio. I'll go through there and give them some. I just dropped off some spinners the other day to those guys, and I get a whole new batch of balls in. That way we're not hitting any kind of waterlogged ball. We usually don't hit in the mornings when there's dew. We'll hit the spinners first until the sun kind of takes away the dew. Very seldom do I hit my balls on the where it's dewy or where you're gonna get when you got rolls and it spins that water up. We won't even hit if we're gonna do that, because it'll ruin your balls after a while. So the thing about this time of year, and watch Facebook and watch the people, because I didn't hear this shit for 6 months. It's been 100 degrees in Texas, 50 something days in a row. I never once seen somebody post that they cracked their bat. But watch all the cracked bats on Facebook now from here on out, because it's gonna be in the 50s next week, in the 60s and 70s. We don't hit, 65-degree weather is when we start hitting. And we usually hit spinners on the first round, and then after that, we got to move our time back too. We were hitting at 7. Now we've moved it to 8. We might move it to 9, depending on how cool it's going to be in the mornings. We make sure our bats are stored inside, our balls are stored inside in 75 degrees, 70-degree weather. And the thing about it is, take care of your, get a piece of shit bat, that you're going to swing, preferably with the same balance points. And I'm going to talk about that balance points in a minute. Let's say you're swinging this bat. Well, what I would do if in the off season is I would find, just between us, right? Nobody else, just between us. This is the new bat that's out right now. It's a really good bat. What I would do is find my balance points on this. This is a 17-ounce end load with an 8.8 on the hands. So I would go out and grab a bat with the same barrel length. I think this is a 12, a little over a 12 inch, might be a 13, 12 and a half, maybe 13. I would get something within the half an inch, 12, 12.75, 12 and a half. And I would, because if you get something that's got bigger barrel on it, it's going to screw everything up. So I would get the same weight distribution that this bat has, piece of shit bat. Make sure you weigh it so it's got the same weight distribution that this bat has if this is going to be your gamer, and swing it all during the off season. Make sure it's a piece of shit bat, thick walls on it so you're not going to crack it. That way, when you walk back into this, when the season starts up again next year, you're not going to have to, your muscle memory is not going to be too far off. What I see a lot of you guys doing is buying these bats off the internet. And let's say this is your gamer, but you turn around and buy, you know, because you don't want to crack it. You know, balance bats don't crack. So you'll go out and buy a piece of shit. I'm not saying this bat's a piece of shit. I'm just saying you'll go out and buy a bat that's not weight distributed the same way. I got so much shit in here. You know, it's not distributed. I'm not saying this bat is tough and this bat's a piece of shit. I'm just using an example. So let's say you go out and get a bat that's like this with a 2-piece, and you just think you can swing that 2-piece where you're not going to crack it. And the weight distribution on this bat is not like this one. It's got a 10 ounces on the hands, and this is an 8/8. So it's going to mess your swing all up. You're going to be swinging this in the off season, so it's going to take you longer to step right into this at the beginning of the season. You're going to take a month and a half, 2 months, I would say, you know, to get that muscle memory back on this bat, especially if you're swinging this during the off season. And I'm not saying this bat's a turd. It's not. I'm just giving you an example. Don't get on eBay, start buying those $50, $75 bats, and then get out there and start hitting the off season and think you're going to come out swinging like a stud beginning of the year, just walking right into your new, you know, anonymous, because the weight distribution is different. Get something close to the weight distribution in this. Scaling. I'll talk about that in a minute, because on this podcast I watched this morning, they were talking about it and mentioned my name. So if you mention my name, I gotta say something about it. First, let me talk about, there it is. First, let me talk about shaving bats. Now, like every week, guys, I talk about shaving bats. And here he is. I talk about shaving bats, and I talk about how it's rampant. Every year it gets worse. I kind of thought there was a couple of years ago, it was kind of like off a little bit. And then all of a sudden it got bigger and bigger every year. And I see a lot of it whenever I go and travel and I play. I've seen a lot of it in Vegas. I'm going to Florida next weekend. I will be in Florida next Wednesday. Bubba's supposed to go with me. I don't know if he's going to go yet, because I was talking about, Charlie's going to be there too. He's going to be playing on our team. I was talking about going to Woodlawn Hitting Club. Well, I just found out the other day that Woodlawn Hitting Club's 2 hours and 45 minutes from where we're playing. And they hit at 7 in the morning. I ain't doing that. I'm not going to Woodlawn to play, to hit balls. I'm going to do something around where we're playing at that Winter Worlds in Florida. So I want to collaborate with a bunch of Jerry Stotts. I need to get a hold of him, because he texted me this morning, was talking to me about, you know, we need to get together when I go up there. Jerry's a friend of mine, played softball with him before he left to go to Florida. And I want to do something with him, maybe get a few seniors from that area up there and get together and hit some balls, and maybe bring some bats down to them so they can actually swing, get a lot of video. I want to do a lot of video, because I am coming out on Wednesday, and maybe hit Thursday. I don't think the tournament starts till Friday, but I will be in Winter Worlds. So that's what I want to do next week. Talk about shaving bats, guys. It's gotten so rampant, and I kind of knew this was going to happen, and I want to address the issue. Is a lot of guys, not a lot of guys, a few guys contacted me and are accusing me of being part of the problem when it comes to shaving bats. And I can understand why they think that way, because I do know a few people that do shave, and I won't rat them out, or I know of, because I have been told by bat manufacturers that they caught these guys shaving, and I will not give up my source. And they are actually coming out. John Sullivan actually posted on when I was talking on the last podcast that I did, you know, he came out and said, you know, that I know of these people that of these people that are shaving, I don't come out and say anything about them, you know, that I am part of the problem. And I kind of replied to him, yeah, I'm part of the problem, what I said to him. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to take the messenger. Instead of going after the root problem, he's trying to destroy the messenger. I think, and the reason, and you guys can think this too, if I'm part of the problem, because I won't out people. And I told you guys at the beginning why I won't do it. I have, you know, and there's two reasons, you know, why I will not do it. And I think, you know, like John Sullivan was saying, that I'm part of the problem of shaving. Although I'm the guy who's actually the voice on talking about something has to be done, you know, and what I'm going about here is giving a lot of tournament directors out there information where they can actually try to fix this problem, try to go a way to fix it. I actually told them you can't compression test bats and catch them shaving. You can't do that. You know, somebody got on here and said, well, you know, don't destroy the bat, just pop the plugs on them. You know, I came up last week and said I would not mind if there's a tournament like Worlds, you know, what was that, 3-4 tournaments a year, big Worlds tournament at the end of the year, is take the winners' bats, put them in a bucket, pay those guys money, you know, for their bats, and then pop the caps on them. I said cut them, but somebody replied, why don't you just pop the caps on them? Well, if you did that, the rule would have to change as re-gluing a cap is altered. Because right now, if this cap falls out, I pick it up and I glue it and I put it back in there, I altered this bat. So if this cap flies off again because I didn't glue it right or use shitty glue, they're going to say I altered this, and I'll get kicked out for a year or 2 or 5 years or whatever because I glued the cap. If you're going to go with collecting all the bats and then turn around and just pop the caps on, that way at least give some of the bat back to the guy so he can at least swing it in BP, or even swing it in a tournament when you just popping the caps back in and get them fixed, at least fix the bat for the guys. Then the rule would have to change. You would have to take that rule off where it won't be called altering. So things have to be done, and I'm actually here talking about things that I know, right? And for me being part of the problem, I think that's bullshit. Because you're taking the guy that is voicing the problem and you're calling him out on why he's voicing the problem, and he won't out any people. Let me tell you what's going to happen, okay? This is the deal. For one, there's no fucking loyalty with people out there. So you want me to rat somebody out that actually told me that from a bat company that he caught a guy that was repping shaving his shit. And so you want me to do what? You want me to tell you who that is? Right? So now I'm the guy that can't be trusted. There's no loyalty out there anymore. So if I don't come out and say who did it, you know, I'm not going to do that shit. I see that shit everywhere where you can't tell anybody anything nowadays. I'm the guy where you can tell that shit, and I have been for shit as long as I've been born. I've been this guy where you can actually talk to, and I'm not going to go and spread fucking rumors about it. You know what I mean? I keep my mouth shut. You notice we don't have that a lot nowadays? You know? And then this guy wanted me to out people. I'm not going to give up my sources, you know? And then I look like the asshole. I look like the guy nobody can come and give information to, where I can tell everybody there's a fucking problem with this shit, right? So nobody's going to tell me anything. So I lose that shit if I do that, which I never would, and I never have. You know, I've lost friends doing this shit. I've lost friends doing this shit because they treat me like they can tell me anything and I take it in. But then again, if I tell them something, all of a sudden they go telling other people. And I weed out those friends. Good friends of mine, I weed them out because I know they're not loyal to me. So I know how that feels, and I will never do that to anybody that talks to me about anything, right? I hate when it's done to me, so I'm not going to do it to them. So when this guy says that I'm part of the problem because I won't out people, okay, let me finish talking about that. I'm done with that. Let me talk about the loyalty shit because I am very loyal. All my life I've been that way. I weed out people that fucking lie to me, and I even with my kids, I even teach them the same thing that I grew up with. You know, I guess it's the way my parents raised me, right? So I tell my kids, don't ever lie, don't ever lie, don't ever rat people out. If somebody tells you something in confidence, you take that and it's gone. You're not going to go and talk about it. Let me talk about another thing too. Let's say I turn into this rat, right? I turn this rat. So I say such and such, right? Prove it. Prove it. You know, if I say this bat company and this guy from this bat company told me something about this guy, prove it. Well, they're going to go to that guy if I mention his name, and he's going to say, I never told him shit. That's what happens when this shit happens, right? It happens everywhere. You know, so what? Now I look like the asshole because nobody's fessing up, because there's not anybody that wants to do this. Nobody wants to call out that big time, you know, guy that has videos everywhere swinging glass, you know. Nobody wants to call him. No. I never said that to him. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. That will happen. So no, I'm happy with, I'm happy if you guys want to call me part of the fucking problem, that's fine. Call me fucking part of the problem. I don't give a shit. If I gave a shit, I wouldn't be doing this. I don't care. I posted something the other day, you know, on Facebook about don't be afraid to be not liked. And I don't care. I don't care. I have my family. I have my kids. You know, I have my few little group of friends, that fucking many, you know, that I hang around with that are loyal. Not that many, but they're like in a handful. And I only have a handful of friends. I can care less if somebody says I'm part of the problem. I'm trying to make you guys think, the guys that are out there running these tournaments, think about how can we fix this? Because I'm telling you, there is a problem. You want me to rat them out? I'm not ratting them out. I don't give a shit what you say. You can ban me. Don't buy my shit. I don't care. I'm not ratting anybody out. I'm not telling anybody shit. You know, I'm just telling you, let's try this. Let's try to do this. Let's try to pop caps. You know, let's get a little bit more entry fee. You know, maybe a little bit more entry fee. You know, to back companies charge $5 more maybe to put a chip in the end of it. We've been talking about this for a long time. Put a chip in the end cap. You know, if it's altered with, you know, guys can come out there with a little. I had one with me right now, a little bit ago. Take their Apple iPhone with an app on it, just rub it on the top, make sure it hasn't been altered. Okay, go ahead. I think that's the best thing, you know, but then again, the bat shavers out there are going to find a way to get around that. So yeah, John, I'm not going to, you think I'm part of the problem, then fuck it, I'm part of the problem. But I'm not going to out anybody. There's no loyalty. I'm probably the loyalest motherfucker you're ever going to see. I'm not going to say shit to anybody. Not even going to write a book on it. I had to joke around that about 10 years ago. I'm not writing a book on all this shit. I ain't writing no damn book. Not that way. I don't want to be that guy. It's getting hot in here. Balance, guys. I have not forgot about you. A lot of you balance guys are contacting me about the balanced. I know I only have one in here. It's in here somewhere. All these balance bets that are out there right now. Don't forget about you. And I have not forgot about you. I'm gonna kind of talk and go through this shit right here. I've not forgot about you, balance guys out there. I am going to the Dudley balance version. You guys are asking about that. I am getting one. It's going to be shipped to me. Problem is they're sold out till December. And if anybody knows where I can get a balance bet from the new Dudleys, the black one, the retro black one on the new Dudleys, let me know. I'm looking for one. And I don't know if, I keep on looking for this bat. I can't find one. I'm going to kind of go off here in a minute, man. On you balance guys, the Dudleys and the Suncoast, I want to talk about those. And I'm going to start putting more video. I've got the Proton balance coming up. And I got the Proton Balance coming up, and I've got a couple other balance bats that are coming up. This one too, because this is a 10-ounce end load, or 10-ounce hand weight. So I would consider that a balance bat. Adam from Fat Guy BP actually talks about this being a balance bat, a balance load. We just started hitting it the other day, and I'll let you guys know about that later on. But I haven't forgot about your balance guys out there. I've got 5 videos coming out within the next 4 days on reviews that I've already done. Brian Banks, if you're out there, Brian Banks have been with me from the beginning. Howard Johnson, that's another one too. Those guys were with me from the beginning. And I'll talk about you guys. I'm talking about what you guys, and I see you everywhere, is you guys ask questions a lot at the beginning about shit, you know, because you kind of think like I do a little bit when it comes to this shit. But I wanted to give a shout out to, you know, he said something, Brian Banks put something up there the other day about a lot of these bat companies are starting to get on with the weight distribution in bats and the way loading actually affects performance. And it's just not loading too. And I don't know if I'm going to walk right into this. I kind of want to talk about something else first, but I'll kind of tease a little bit here. It's just not loading that podcast. And I want you guys to go watch his podcast. And I'm going to bring it up here in a minute and kind of give you guys directions, especially on YouTube. He does have a Facebook page too, but I don't know if he shares his stuff on there. And just listen to him talk. And he calls me out, you know, what Brian said, you know, it's true. And I see this a lot. And the reason why I do all this and mainly to help you guys become better hitters, not you kids, because there's nothing I can tell you because of the bat speed that you have, but you're going to understand, and I'm going to get in talking about Jesse here in a minute. You're going to understand is as you get older, your bat speed diminishes, and you just can't rely on 100-mile-an-hour bat speed anymore to pick whatever bat you want, because basically you can pick up any bat and swing with it. I'm not talking about a 2x4. Somebody did a video about that the other day. I'm not talking about a tree limb. I'm talking about any bat with 100-mile-an-hour bat speed, and you can pick it up. Reason I know that, we have Bubba. Bubba, you can put anything in his hands, 100+ mile an hour, and he's going to kill it with anything in his hands, you know, and we sit there and witness it. So, Bubba serves a purpose. All of my guys serve a purpose. I have some smaller guys, you know, 5'6", 5'7", 150 pounds, the guys that hit with me. You know, those are the guys that I watch more than I do Bubba, because Bubba serves a purpose. Bubba helps with bat speed, anything I need to know that exceeds that 90, 95. You know, if I'm going to have 3 different tiers, we got to have 3 different players. You know, you got the hard bat, the hard barrel, and you got the middle guys, and then you got the soft. I have all of that, you know, and I'm getting more on the soft side with the 60, 65, 68-year-old guys that I'm going to actually have come out and hit with me. I got to mark this stuff off or I'll go jumping all around. But they do serve a purpose when it comes to that. So Brian was talking about a lot of these guys are actually jumping on the bandwagon, I guess, and because it wasn't like this 5-6 years ago, it actually has gotten huge lately, especially with talking about all the supplements and talking about TRT, talking about weight lift, and I think it benefits a lot of people. And if you can add in there, what's the best bat to swing for your bat speed, you know, it's actually a plus, because a lot of other guys out there really don't talk about this. When it talks about a lot of the bat speed and the weightlifting and just all those other avenues that you guys can watch my channel and actually get any kind of information of what we have done. And here's another thing too. If people are criticizing you for it, it means you're doing something right. If people are thumbs down on you, like so I put up a video of somebody hitting the other day and he got thumbs down and he's like, well, does it mean they don't like? No, it means you actually succeeded. You pissed them off. You know, you have something that they want and they just thumbs you down. Hell, every video I put out, every video I put out right now, before the video's even finished, I get a thumbs down. So there's few people out there that really don't like what I do or just hate the shit out of me. And I don't I don't lose any sleep. I don't lose any sleep over it, guys. I'm just telling you. And that's just the kind of, I never have. And that's just the way I am, because I'm not, you know, it's usually one of those, you know, it's just me, you know, that guy that doesn't use any of my information. And I'm not here for you anyway. I'm here for the guys AA and AAA, help make them better. And I'm here for the guys with the slower bat speed to help them. Although I do benefit a lot of guys with a higher bat speed, because I have those guys that hit with me with that higher bat speed, so I can benefit everybody. But when you don't like, you know, and you don't know, because you don't have that knowledge of me, you know, because of the slower bat swing or the weight distribution, and then all of a sudden, you know, you put out your opinion like I'm going to get into here in a minute. And I don't think he meant it as he did. He's kind of like me. He doesn't give a shit. He's going to give you his opinion, and he kind of doesn't give a shit, you know, what you think. I mean, he gives a shit what you think, but he's putting out another way. And this is the really way I think about this too. We're just giving you guys an opinion about things. I don't care what you swing. I really don't. There was the Hodge twins. I don't want to say it, but the Hodge twins I used to look at a long time ago, and I thought they were funny as shit. And it was about weightlifting at the end of the video, you know, where they said, "Hey, we don't care what you do," you know, and then they kind of said something, threw an F-bomb in there. You can do whatever F you want to do. And I thought that was a great saying, because that's basically what we do. We don't give a F what you swing. We really don't. We're just giving you pathways to pick a different direction. And our thought process of what we think could better your swing, or what we think could better picking a bat up from your miles per hour, soft barrel, hard barrel. You know, I don't think they're actually saying anything about nutrition, you know, what is better for seniors out there, what you can take to actually better your health. You know, a lot of 40-year-olds, like I tell, Pygeum is one of the supplements for prostate cancer, you know, helps with the prostate, that will actually, you know, put it, you know, because just keep it at bay, I guess. I'm not talking about the gentlemen out there that actually have prostate cancer, because there's a point that you get where you can't do anything. You know, I'm talking about preventive maintenance at a young age, 30, 35, 40 years old, that you can start taking this supplement that's cheap, you know, buy it over the counter, any kind of health food store, and you can start taking this stuff. It kind of helps you out, which a lot of supplements that we give you that I talk about, that's the PGM right there, that we talk about, that actually, this is really good shit, guys. I'm telling you, that is some really good shit. I see a difference in it when I'm taking it, you know. And then like the magnesium, you know, that's another one too. And I know you see this backwards, but this is another one that I take. It's inosol and choline, really good for the brain. Choline's right there is really good. Choline's very good for the brain. Helps with memory. Like you guys getting brain fog, try that shit out. Choline. Then the benfotiamine, vitamin B1 right there. That is good shit. And then of course, omega-3. You know, those are just a few of the supplements. I was in College Station. I did a podcast last week in College Station. I actually had to leave that tournament Saturday night. I could not play on Sunday. I had to come back into San Antonio. And I guarantee you, I said it was 40. I bet it was 25, 30 supplements sitting on my table that I take out of town with me all the time. And of course, D3 with K2. Got to get it with K2, guys. You got to have K2 with your D3. It actually helps it a lot better. There is, walk right into this before I talk about the other one. Well, I should talk about the other one first, because my computer's running out of battery life here. And let me see if I can get to it. I want you guys to go to a podcast. And it's from the BP Hero. And he talks about, in this hour long, he actually gets on a rant. The rant is, it's podcast number SBE, and that looks like 8. But yearly, I don't care, and you shouldn't care either. Long story short, That's the name of the podcast. I don't care, and you shouldn't care either. He's talking about weight distribution. All right. And he's saying that he doesn't care about weight distribution because a lot of guys, I guess, that do tune into my channel, he actually called Adam out with Fat Guy BP. He called him out too because Adam does weight his bats, right? He does the weight distribution in his bats. First, he weighs the whole bat, and then he goes in weight and handle weight. And a lot of guys that are contacting Jesse here ask him what's the end weight of these, because Jesse does YouTube. He's kind of going into senior softball bats, but he does YouTube. He's got a big following. He's got like 12,100 followers. He's got a shit ton more than I do. So apparently he's pretty good at what he does. And I've watched him from the beginning when I think he only had like 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers. I was watching him, and he does a good job. He talks very well. But he says, I don't care, and you shouldn't either. Go watch that podcast. And there are a few things that he is right about. Like when somebody goes up to me, I want a 27 ounce, I want a 27 ounce. And he's like, is it 27.0 or 27.2? That's the one I want. Hey, do you work at the warehouse over at Headbanger Sports? Can you go in the back and weigh all the bats and get me a 26.5, when it's a 26, go through all the boxes. I think what he's talking about there, I think that's bullshit. That's not weight distribution to me. I can care less how much this bat weighs. If you notice that I don't put any weights on them anymore because I can care less. Only thing I care about is end weight and handle weight. Weight distribution. I think that plays a big part in what you're picking. He did say something in there about a balanced bat in somebody else's hands can outperform an end load. Well, that's true. If you got 100, like I just said in the earlier video, if you got 100 plus mile an hour, you can pick up a balanced bat and hit 4 foot. If you got 120, 150 miles an hour bat speed, because the bat speed overtakes balance points at one time. If you have a good barrel, if you got a hard barrel on that balanced bat, it's guys. And he's sitting there and he's talking about there's so many variants, which there is. I mean, it's all about a formula. I said this from the beginning. Choosing a bat's about a formula now. I don't want you guys to get discouraged because you hear one guy out there starts giving his opinion and then he starts talking about what feels good in your hands. Will this bat good for you? Here, pick it up and swing it. If you like swinging it, then that's the bat for you. And I don't necessarily agree on that. I think that you can increase if you guys are let's say 65-year-old guy and you're swinging about 50 miles an hour and you're swinging a balanced bat. I think if you went to a lighter end load, with a soft ass barrel, I think you can get a little bit more distance. That's just the way I think. That's the reason I started doing this 14 years ago and talk about balance points. It not only and I said this in numerous, that's how come I keep putting these videos out, because actually it's information on you can go back and look at them. I actually don't think it's just balance points. I think it's flex in the handle. And I've said this, like I said, Billy has, I had 4, Billy has 5, or it might be different. Billy has 6, I have 5, Billy has 6. Different variants in a bat that you have to have as a formula to actually work. It's just not all about balance points. You can have great balance points on a shitty bat and hit like shit because it doesn't have a good barrel or doesn't have any flex points. You can put good balance points on a hard ass barrel, and a hard ass handle, and that bat's not going to perform for you. So there's so many variants to go into it. But he's talking about just screw it. Let's not talk about the variants. And you watch the videos, watch the podcast. It's actually a pretty good podcast, I think, and he puts them out every week. I look at the podcast and just make your own mind. I want you to go to him, and I want you to look at what he's talking about and then use your own better judgment. That's how come I keep having, like, all these guys up here, Fat Guy BP's up here, and then you got, little Mexican right here, and you got me, and then, well, that's me, and then me up there, too. But if I had any other, guys that were doing bat reviews, they'd be up behind me because I support everybody. I don't think y'all guys just listen to me. I think you guys need to do research, and then apply that research to your swing. And he's actually saying that too here. But and I listen to the whole podcast, and what I see when I'm watching this is he's not 40 yet, so he's got that really good bat speed, so he can actually pick up anything and swing it. I would love to see his attitude whenever he's 55, 60 years old. How's it going, Matt? 55, 60 years old. and then come back and tell me that again when your bat speed is diminished. Because everybody, you know, who don't have no 100-mile-an-hour bat speed, I think those guys are the elites, the guys that have that 100-mile-an-hour bat speed. I think what happens with a lot of these bat manufacturers out there is they pay too much attention to the elites. But if you put the elites up against the, you know, up against the AA and AAA, there's going to be a shit ton more AA and AAA major than there will be the elites on their elite team that go and kick everybody's ass every fucking weekend. You know, a lot more of these guys than your guys. So when you're catering to those 100-mile-an-hour, you can stick anything in their hand and they're going to freaking hit it a mile. I need to quit. Watch the guy's pod. It's Jesse from BP Hero. Listen to his rant podcast at the end of the year, and he said he's going to do these every once in a while. He doesn't believe in weight distribution. He called out Adam, which is Fat Guy BP. And he called out me in it. And talking about that I do the weight distribution. And then he has a lot of guys that call him and talk about it. He doesn't know that much about it, I guess, where he can't give an opinion. I mean, he doesn't even talk about, he didn't talk nothing about hard barrel, soft barrel. But he's not into that. He's a U-trip guy. He's doing all the U-trip bats. And if you notice that all the U-trip bats, you don't see a soft barrel U-trip bat. You know, might get to that, maybe that little bit of a medium part like on mine, but no U-trip bats. So he's dealing with hard barrel, you know, 100-mile-an-hour bat speed. Hell, we've proven it. Have you guys seen Bubba hit, you know, on shitty bats? Kills it. You know, Clem even gets on his ass. We hate you, Bubba. We hate you. Listen to the back behind the scenes video, guys. It's another thing, too. A lot of you guys are asking me, what is my top 10? You know, Senior Softball Bat Reviews, all one word, SeniorSoftballBatReviews.com. Go up there. It has a discount code. You guys get some cheap shit. Just put, you know, right on the top of the page, I got discount codes up there with the access to the websites on anybody you want to get to up there. Just go through there and look at them. You know, what we are here to do, guys, I'm going to go into what I was just talking about. What we're here to do is help the guys with not that big of a bat speed, not that much of a bat speed, be successful on the field and choose a bat that better suits their swing. I just did a video on bat speed, how to check your bat speed, how to pick a bat ounce off your bat speed. You know, 25, 26, 27. I think a lot of you guys out there swing the wrong weight when it comes to bat speed. You know, there's a little bat. I was looking for it earlier. I can't find it. I think it might be in one of my ball bags. Not in this one, but it might be in one of my ball bags. But it's my little bat speed tester. But 3 AA batteries in it, and you take it out, and, you know, start it up, and you swing in front of it. You know, watch the video. I put it up. And it talks about how to get your bat speed. When you get your bat speed on that video, actually at the end, it tells you, okay, now that you got your bat speed, what is it? You know, is it 60? Is it 70? Is it 80? Take that number and go and pick out a bat on that rack. You know, that is on that. I put the miles per hour on there. You know, if your bat speed's 50, go to that rack. That's soft barrel side. You're going to benefit more from that rack, that line of bats than you were from the hard barrel side. You know, I see guys play and I'm looking at them like, what? Guys come out and hit with me. You know, guy picks up a hell of a swing, 100-mile-an-hour swing, but he picks up my middle tier. And I said, here, you would benefit more from this one. Boom. You know, and he turns around and, you know, he's on his way home and he texts me, he goes, I never knew. I never knew, you know, that it would be that fast that you can put me on a bat, that would better add a little bit more distance, add a little bit more pop, getting the ball through the infield. You know, there's one thing that Jesse talks about there too is, and I think he's getting kind of confused about weight distribution and consistency. You know, it's all not about hitting home runs. It's not all about hitting the ball 400 feet. But if, you know, you can have you know, I talked about this last week and a couple of weekends ago about, you know, there's a balance point. There's a balance point in there that you have to have for consistency. And I can't believe none of you guys out there that have these bat companies know this shit. Because I've swung a shit ton of bats. Bubba's swung a shit ton of bats. Bubba will sit and Clem. We've sat there in powwows and talk about this stuff because we've swung a lot of bats. Maybe they haven't swung the bats that we have. A lot of bats in 14 years, guys. I've swung a shit ton of bats. So that's how come we have this knowledge and we know this stuff. My computer just went out. I was wondering what happened there. So we have that experience from swinging all these bats. When it comes to, you know, you have a weight distribution in a bat. A lot of guys don't know that. And here's the deal too. There is one guy that actually knows it, and he's a bat manufacturer. I'm not going to call anybody out here, right? I'm not going to say this bat manufacturer knows more than this bat manufacturer, right? Because I don't want to sway you guys anyway. And I told you guys when I was doing this, I wasn't going to sway anybody on what kind of bat you should pick. Just because this guy has more knowledge, you're going to gravitate more toward him. I just do the reviews. But whenever I get phone calls from guys that want me to do the work for them, it kind of bothers me a little bit, because what you're going to do is and this has happened in the past a lot of times, is you're going to take that knowledge and you're going to take it back. And I quit doing this a while back. You're going to take that knowledge and you're going to take it back, and you're going to start saying, me and my guys doing our research and development, we're here talking about this bat. And I'm looking, I'm like, bitch, you just got off the phone with me fucking like 10 days ago. But he's pumping up his rep guy, right? The guy that's swinging the bat, the guy whose name's on the bat, you know? And he's texting me going, hey, what's the weight distribution on this bat should be? Kiss my ass, man. I'm not telling you. What kind of flex in the handle do you want? What do you mean what I want? What kind of, this is facts. What kind of flex in the handle do you want? Why, bitch? You building me a bat? I don't want you to build me a bat. Put the damn bat out. Put it out. I get it out of the store, and then let me do a review on it. You're not building a bat for me. You know, what flex you want? What kind of flex points you want? You know, in the hands, what stiffness of the hands? What do you want? No, I'm not building this shit for you, man. If you want to learn some shit, go that membership channel on YouTube. At least I get $5-10 from you every month. You get a shit ton of knowledge. You know, I'm not building, and in the last 5 years, I've had people, Billy actually told me, shut your mouth, not telling anybody anything, not giving you a paycheck. Why the hell are you building this shit for? They're not going to acknowledge you. They're not going to say, we got this from this guy. You know, they're going to say, hey, I've been doing research and development. It's happened, guys. It's happened. I've been doing research and development. Me and my Joe Blow. Joe Blow's here hitting his bat for me. His name's on the bat. He took it out. He okayed it. He approved it. There it is. That shit happens more than you might think. So I laugh my ass off when it's happened to me in the past. You know. And I'm not going to talk about that either. I talked about that shit. I'm not going to tell you who's texted me. I'm not going to tell you who's called me. You know. Now am I going to be part of that fucking problem? Because I'm not saying this guy called me or this bat manufacturer talked to me about shit. I'm not doing that. I'm here to benefit the guys out there. You put your bat out. Don't send me shit. I got a bat yesterday, a couple of days ago. I took a picture of it and put it on Facebook. All of a sudden, right away, within 10 minutes it got on Facebook, I got a freaking text message going, please don't put our product up. Doesn't come out till January. Then why the fuck you send it to me? What am I supposed to do to it? What am I supposed to do? Oh, I'm supposed to hit it in BP so you can see me hit it in BP. So everybody get excited about it. Buy it before, get your pre-orders in. Here it is, being hit with Dave Velasquez and his group of guys on YouTube. You know, look at, oh my God, oh. That's why you fucking sent it to me. And then I texted him back, said, why'd you send it to me then? If you don't want me to put it on Facebook, that this is what's coming up, or you don't want me to put it on my YouTube, on my website saying this is what's in line, don't do that till January. It's fucking October. What do you want me to do? Set on it? Damn sure not going to hit it now till it comes out. You know, this is what happens, guys, with these. And I really don't care less if you send me a bat for free. I don't give a shit. You know, that's the reason I'm talking about this. You know, one guy said, oh, damn, he's ripping the shit out of those guys. good luck to him getting another bat for free. I don't want your damn bats for free. You know, especially when you're telling me not to post it and I'm pushing pictures of it, because a lot of my guys, a lot of my followers want to see what the new shit's coming out. Then I say, why'd you send it to me? And you say, oh no, go ahead, you can do it. Oh, you go ahead. I had to tell me I had to take it off. You mean tell me I'm going to sit on that bat for 2 months and not hit it? I'm not going to hit it for 2 months. Just because of that shit. Just because you wanted to have me hit it on, dude, it happens all the time. Here's a bat. Swing it. We don't want you to talk about it, just swing it. That's advertising for those fucking people. We don't do that shit. We don't do advertising. Go to someone else. Give the bat to someone else. I'll send them back to you. Get them to someone else. I'm getting way too into this. This is supposed to be an hour long. That's the way this shit works. We get sent stuff, and this is somebody new, I guess, that doesn't know me and doesn't, you know, the lighting here sucks. Doesn't know me, and, you know, they just think that I'm this guy that puts out commercials, you know. And I get excited when I see new bats because I want to hear bats. I want to see bats hit. And I like the new technology that's coming out, especially when these companies that have been around for such a long time. I want to start talking about bats. I have 15 minutes. I might go on talking about something else here in a minute. I can't find my... Oh, there it is. Kind of go through some shit here. If you guys are interested in Suncoast, I have some bats here I want to talk about that I think what's happening here. Patty Albright, I know she's not watching this because she's in Arizona. I think she's watching Arizona right now playing the World Series. So I didn't see her name pop up. So I know she's not watching my shit. If you guys are interested in any kind of Suncoast, this is the Mega. It's got a 17-ounce end load, 8/8 on the hands. What's going to happen when you guys start swinging this bat is it's going to start off kind of hard a little bit. But if you look at the weight distribution, I know what they did. They toughened up the barrel a little bit. And I said this last week, but if you're new to this, you know, watching this Facebook Live, you kind of understand what I'm trying to do is, you know, let the guys know that just tuning in, you know, what they're doing. This looks good. It's got that little bit of a tacky barrel on it, which Suncoast always does to their bats. I like the weight distribution in this bat, but what they did was they toughened up that barrel a little bit, and it's just now we've got 150 swings on it, and you can feel it start to open up a little bit. Excited about the way that bat is going to perform. And I was hoping they would come out, and it's got the thin handle. I love the way Suncoast feel. Now I'm going to get feedback on this one. I want to talk about it too. This is the Reloaded. It's not like last year's Reloaded. It's got a 16.5 on the end. This is a 27.5. It's got a 16.5 on the end and 10.4 on the hands. This is weighted not for a 3/4 ounce end load. I've got to say that again because other people chime in and say it is a 3/4 ounce end load. It's not a 3/4 ounce end load, guys, because of the weight distribution. Got 10.4 in the hands, and that's without the tape. So it tapes about 2/10. So you're looking at 10.6 on the hands. That's a balanced bat. That being said, this is a very, very good bat. It's got a very good barrel on it. Great control. And guys, this we're getting distance on it, and it's a balanced bat. Now go figure that one out. The weight distribution in it is more geared toward a balanced bat. Maybe a 1/4 ounce end load, which I don't think so, but maybe a 1/4, you know, a little over. And I say 1/4 because I really don't mean a 1/4. It's just what you guys understand when it comes to 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce, because that's not really the weight they're putting in the bat. It's a better way to describe that they have been doing for as long as I've been doing this on the way the weight distribution is in it considered. But very, very good performance on a balanced bat. This is another one. This one has, Now this is the Cali Gold is what it is. It's that DeMarini bat. We just started swinging this the other day. I think the way that looks is pretty freaking awesome there. Yeah, it is a hot ass balance bat. This is a 2-piece. Now we have swung the Paul Satter. You can tell we haven't even swung this one bat. I think somebody swung it without bat tape on it the last time we hit it. I'll have that video out and let you guys see that. It's going to be on behind the scenes on that video. DeMarinis are hard to stand up, guys. I'm going to kind of go through them. I'm not going to go in any order like I used to. Anonymous, guys, you've seen the video on this. I put a video the other day about Bubba hitting this bat really far. Now, where am I going to put it? I don't know yet. I actually think it needs a little bit more hits. I think we got it close to 300 swings on it. I'm hoping, for my benefit, I'm hoping that it drops in that middle tier with the soft barrel. You know, a little bit softer than the hard, that middle tier, not the softest, but the middle tier. I don't think it's going to reach the softness for you guys with that 60, 70 mile an hour bat speed. I don't think it's going to reach you guys, but that middle tier, you know, I can swing it. I get good performance on it. I kind of wish it was a little softer barrel. It might get there. So we're going to keep hitting it and make sure. This is you can watch videos of us swinging this bat. This bat is very, very hot. Put my foot up there. Robo 17. I'm hoping this is a 2-piece from TPS, right? It's the Robo 17. I'm praying that this bat, right now, if I had to do a review on this bat, it would make my top 10 on that hard barrel side. Would it make that top 5? I don't know yet. You know, probably not right now. It will make the top 10 on that hard barrel, not on the medium, not on the soft, on that hard barrel. You got to really push it, guys. You got to really push that bat speed to get that barrel to collapse on you. Somebody was saying the other day, I think Clint was telling me that it's like that medium. It's got a softer barrel. It does not have a softer barrel on it. It's got a hard barrel, sounds hard, flexing the handles hard. We'll be hitting this again, weather permitting, next week, and let you guys know. We're not done with the review on this one. I just wanted you guys to know where are we at right now when it comes to swinging that bat. This is the Anarchy Gas right here. One thing I do is a 16.8 on the end, 26 ounce, 16.8 on the end, 8.6 on the hands. And what I like about this bat is it's thin all the way up in here. I like the way this bat feels. I like the way it swings. It's got a thin ass handle on it. Performance wise, we haven't got it there yet. You can, in this bat right here, you can tell it's actually flexing right here. And then I want to get it out to about right here. We got a little bit of striations in it in the middle part. I want to get those striations further out before I talk about this bat. And that's another one we're going to hit next week too. We'll talk about this one in a minute. 50 cal. Review will be out on this on Tuesday, Monday, something like that. This is the new 50 cal. It took a while to get there, guys. It took a while to get there, but we finally got it there. I'll talk about that in the review. This is the Onyx, the teal. We hit it. A lot of video out there on it. This review will be out by next Wednesday. Again, another really good bat here. It's a 13.5-inch barrel that does not swing like a 13.5-inch barrel. It's a 2-piece, got the thin handle on it. Weight distribution in this bat, he calls it a 1-ounce end load. I think, yeah, this is a 26.5. It's got a 17 on the end. It's got 8.6 on the hands. That's on a 26.5. This is a very good bat. You can see striations. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's got striations. Those right there are not paint chips. Those are actually just striations in the barrel. And this bat is flexing really good. You can see that. You know who liked that bat? You know who liked that bat was Javi. You can see Javi hitting it, and he was asking me about it. He was in College Station last week. He plays with us. Javier Bernal. Plays shortstop and third base. He's I'm 5'7", 5'8". He's around there and weighs about I asked him $175, and he was hitting them far with that bat. He's got good bat speed though. I don't know if I would put him in that slow category of that bat speed. I'm not going to talk about that. I just talked about those. And I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of talking about that shit. I picked this up the other day. This is an Onyx Greg Cerna. Guys, I don't know if Carlos has any of these. It's actually it's a two-piece, got a 13-inch barrel. This bat was made, and I love the way this bat performs. The reason I got it, it's a brand new one. This bat was made for the softer barrel, the softer balls, the balls that get hot and actually lose compression. This bat is made for those right there, and it does work. Got a soft barrel. You guys know, if you guys go to my top 10 on soft barrels, this bat's up there on mine. And I liked it because I like soft barrels. That's just me. This is the Wig Popper. We are hitting this Wig Pop. This is a newer one. I have a used one in here. There it is. This is, look, you're getting paint chips, right? That don't mean shit to me. As long as it doesn't take off those. As long as it doesn't take off those, I'm totally happy. But this is paint chips. It means the barrel's flexing really good, and they did something to the coating. I don't care. I actually think that's a good thing, not a bad thing. You know, more paint you can get off it, better flex on the barrel. That's just me. A little tweaking, you know, when I talk about little things, little tuning, you know, taking that off is actually not a bad thing. We are working on this now. We're actually hitting that to see if we can get it to, it is, but just putting a little bit more swings on it. AT18. A lot of you guys out there talking about this bat. What we are getting, this is a 27 ounce. It's got 16.7 on the end, and it's got 9.7 on the hands. What Alan Tanner did this year, and I don't know why, but you guys can talk to him about this, but he went higher in hand weight. Because on the teal and orange bat, I got the same weight, and the weight's not even close to that weight distribution on that teal and orange. For some reason, he added more weight to the hands. You know, but we're getting, the one thing about the Worth that we hit, the Johnny Bailey and the Big Cat, was you had to hit those bats a little bit to actually get them going. Well, the same thing with this one. We're starting off, they're not like, they call them hot out of the wrapper. They're not. They call them gamer series, gamer ready. They're not. You know, you got to put in a little bit of swings. We got it about 110 right now. What I counted the other day, you got about 110 on it right now. It's finally starting to make that sound, because when you first start swinging it, guys, you're going to want like, what the hell is that shit? But it did the same thing with the Johnny Bailey. It did the same thing with the Mike Deal, the newer ones, right? The gamers. And it did the same thing with the Big Cat. So we already know that's what we're going to get out of this. Just stay with it. Hopefully it turns out, well, that barrel is going to be the same as those. But the weight distribution, I'm not really a big fan of, and I don't know why Alan did that. I think what that made that teal and orange bat so much better than all the other bats was he went low on the hand weight. It made that barrel respond a little bit better. That's another thing that a lot of these guys talk about, weight distribution. Weight distribution plays so much of a big role in barrel flex. You know, handle flex too, because, you know, if you put a little bit more weight on it, you get a little bit more hand flex. You get too much hand flex, you stiffen up the hands. So it's all a formula, you know. That's what a lot of guys don't have to understand. It's just not like, well, it feels good in your hands, go ahead and swing it. Well, shit, you might be throwing a guy that loves that hard-ass, he's got a 50-mile-an-hour bat speed, that loves the way that hard-ass barrel swings, you know. Oh, yeah, it's going to swing good for him, but is he going to get any performance out of it? No, he's not. This is Sin City. This went out today. This is actually Chino's. He left it in my bag for some reason. And then called me up freaking out, asking me if I had it. Yeah, Chino, I have it. This is a two-piece. We're going to finish this review up next week too, weather permitting. This is a two-piece, 1 ounce end load on the Proton, the 2 series. That's it right there. It's got a 13-inch barrel. 2-piece bat, standard handle. Really good performance on this bat too. It already made my top 5, I think. It made my top 5 on that middle part. and I'll talk about that again next week. This is the Balance Bat Dudley. I told you guys I'll have that review out again on Tuesday, Wednesday, I think, something like that. I'll have this bat. It's a one-piece Balance Bat 9. It's a Balance Bat. It's a Balance Bat, guys. This is their Balance Bat. You understand where it says Balance Bat, right? I'm just doing this because I want to show you something. 16.5 on the end and 9.9 on the hands. Not 9.4 like the Suncos, all right? And not 10.4 like the Suncos. It's got 9.9 on the hands. This is a Balance Bat. This is a true Balance Bat. So when you guys out there say, it's that 3/4 ounce in low, well, it weighs just like the distribution is, like all the Balance Bats out there. This is the one I was looking for. And please do not call me and ask me anything about these bats. I don't know. I don't know how much they cost for one. I just know that I paid for this one in Vegas, $250. Bought two of them, $500. I paid in Vegas for these. I don't know how much they cost. I didn't even go any research on it. They tell me what they cost. I give it to them right there. Where do you get them at? I don't know. I have no idea where a lot of these bats I get from. I know I get my Suncos from Patty Albright. I know that. I could call her up. She'll have it to me within the next day or two. Real quick. Alan Tanner. I get all of my bats from Alan Tanner from the Worth side. You know, Mike Dill. I call him up. Hey, I need this. Give me a credit card. Boom. Give him a credit card. So those are the people that I deal with when it comes to those. You know, Ryan Vega. I call him up. Hey, ship me this. I already know what their PayPal account is. Boom, Venmo, whatever. I send it to them. Those are the guys that I deal with. Who else? Holy crap. Charles Darling, right? I send money to him. He gives me bats. So that's the only thing that I know. All those guys that you can get on my website and find out, you know, how much they cost, what's the availability, why do they not have this bat in stock? I don't know. But this bat, the review is over with. This was a quick review. It doesn't swing like the Bobby Knife on. It does not swing like the Party Time. Weight distribution in this bat is totally different. They which actually went higher in the hand weight. This is the 20. This is the 26. It's at 16.6 on the end, 8.8 on the hands. Very good bat. But I don't know where you get them from. I don't know when the next stock's coming in. A lot of you guys ask me, when is the next shipment coming in? I don't know, guys. I really don't. Oh. Okay. Here we go. This is another thing I'm talking about too, man. I am merely an information guy. I'm not a bat sales guy. You send me something, I do a review on it. If it cracks or it breaks, there's any kind of flaw, I give you a benefit of the doubt. So I get a hold of you and I tell you, hey, this is the problem we're having. It could be a blim. Send me another one. Send me another one. Boom. Do it again. And it screws up. Again. And we're hitting in 90-degree weather. And we're hitting my balls. Then I addressed that there's a problem. And you guys were asking about this last week. This is pure. Right? This is what happened to the pure bat really fast. It happened to the second one, not the first one. And it happened to the second one. What we got on both bats is they cracked very early. Within 50 swings, both of them cracked. Great performance on both bats. The durability is an issue. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is because I think you guys should know, because you did see us swinging in a video. So I have a service to a lot of you guys out there that want to buy this pure bat that you watched it perform in the video, that you're not going to go out and buy this bat and then all of a sudden they start cracking on you. Then I'm in the shit wagon, right? I'm the guy's in trouble. So a lot of these bat manufacturers don't know this, and a lot of newer ones, a lot of the older ones know this shit, that I will do this. A lot of the newer ones don't. But I'm telling you guys right now, I don't know what the problem is, or maybe I just got two blims. But after I let them know about this one, I never got another one. So apparently they're trying to fix this problem. I love the way the bat performs. It's got a 16.8 on the end on a 26 ounce and 9.2 on the hands. I love those numbers. High 8s, low 9s. I love those numbers. I like the way this bat performs. There's just a durability issue. I thought you guys should know that there's a durability issue with them. This is the second one we've cracked, and we're hitting in 95-degree weather. Proton. This is the hot butter 17.95. 17.95. This is a 26.5. And we'll finish this review next week too. That's a very good bat. Very good. I've sent those bats out to a lot of guys that actually help me with reviews out of state. And they say, Dave, this bat is hot. This is another, I already talked about this. This is another one of the two-piece bats out there. We actually are doing, and I know it's in here somewhere, they have a balance bat. That's it right there. This is the balance one, 26 ounce. And the way he loads his balance bats, 16.2 on the end, and he's got 9.4 on the hands. So what he did was he stayed with the hand weight on all of his bats, stayed in that 9, 9.2, 9.4, 9.5, and he just took the weight out of the end, which I don't know how that's going to work, but we got really good. Just on the 50 swings we put on this bat, we got really good performance without having that big mass on the end to help carry the ball. Swings like a balanced bat because you took that hand weight off the end. Like I said, I don't want to show you these bats because they're not going to be out till January. So you'll see those bats around January if the guy doesn't want to shit back. You guys saw this video, and the video was me hitting this bat. This is a prototype. This is not, and I want to get this through you guys' head now. This is not last year's two-piece 12-inch barrel. What they did was, this is a prototype. They actually put this bat out there for people to swing. It's not been produced yet, except for today. It's not been put out yet. This is just a prototype. I swung it. I actually got my hands on 2 of them out of Vegas, and I swung it. I actually swung it before Vegas, and I picked up another one in Vegas from Carlos because I do like soft barrel bats. And if you guys can see, I actually marked on it soft barrel. I know you guys got to read that backwards, but I actually put soft barrel on it. These are 12-inch two-piece bats. They are not anywhere close to being the two-piece from last year, the year before on the white onyx. What he did was he took these bats and the weight distribution in them, and I'll show you guys in a minute because I wrote it down on this other bat. He went higher in the handle weight. And I'm sorry I don't have a gray one here, but Bubba took it. I have a gray end-loaded 12-inch barrel. It's a little harder barrel than this one. So basically what he did was, this is just me, because swinging this bat, what he did was a little higher on the weight in the hands. And I actually told him this, I know exactly what you did, Carlos. You went higher in the weight in the hands, and you actually livened up the barrel a little bit. When you go high weight in the hands, you actually take stress off the barrel. So you can go a little bit more livelier barrel and still have that longevity. Problem with, I don't even get into the problem with that, but I'm not talking about this bat, I'm talking about other bat manufacturers. I'm talking too much because I already told him what he did, from the gray one to this one, because they're actually the same shell, but not same shell, but the same machine. So what he did was he went a little livelier, right? Because it is a softer barrel than the gray one. And then he let a little bit more handle weight, which takes stress off the barrel. I think I just repeated myself there. And then he came up with this. You guys see me post a picture of it. This has got a 17.1, 8.6 on the hands. Carlos is actually going higher in the hand weight for a lot of the older seniors out there because of control. You go 2 less in the hands, like if you go to the 7s, low 7s, middle 7s, even a high 7, you're going to lose control. So what he did was he actually added like a whole ounce to the handle weight, which actually makes it less in the hands than a lot of other bat manufacturers out there, but he wanted more control. So he went livelier, just like the white one. He went livelier in the barrel. We haven't hit it yet. We just got it in yesterday, and it rained today. And I know he's biting at the bit to see what we think about it. But I'm going to try to get out and swing it this weekend and a couple of these other bats. If not, it will be in Florida with me, and I'm going to take it with me to swing it up there with a bunch of other seniors and let you guys test drive it up there. So this is the new Onyx, and I've said that's out as a 2-piece. It's got a, actually, you know, if the orange was a little brighter, it'd be my colors. And it's got that maybe a little bit dark, not a navy. That might be a little navy. Yeah, not a royal, but that's a navy. It's that 2-piece, 12-inch barrel, weight distribution, 17. And this is a 27 ounce. And it's got 17,186 on the hands, guys. That is it that I can think of, unless I got another bat manufacturer. There is other bat companies. Titan, no, Spartan. Spartan Bat Company is out there coming out with a new bat. It's actually in the prototype right now. I know I talked to a few of those guys out there. If there's any information, I know one of them was actually watching me earlier. Is there's any information on these bats, you guys can give up the information and talk to them people. I don't think I'm going to say anything about it. Mainly because it's your shit, and I don't want to, you know, that's like, it's funny because I've got to be the guy that, I like putting out new bats, you know, but what I turned into, and I've got to watch this, and I've kind of, I got to watch what I'm doing here, because a lot of people see the viewership that I get, and a lot of you guys fans out there that like what we're doing, and so what I get from a lot of people that don't know me is they think they can use me as a platform to advertise for their shit. That's not what we're here for. We're not here to do that shit. We can care less about advertising for your shit. We're here for a service for, and I know this is a spiel. You guys can be, oh, come on, Dave. But this is what we've been doing from the get-go. It's a service to you guys to actually pick a better bat. It's not to promote your product. Get somebody else to do that shit. You know, that's how come I get pissed whenever you send me bats and I can't post pictures of it. You know, that doesn't come out till January. Why'd you send me the bat then? Doesn't come out till January. Why'd you send me the bat? So, and then the guys that send me bats at crack, and you go, hey, can you hang on for a minute? We're gonna send this guy down there to hit with you. Why the hell do I want that guy to come down there and hit with me? Why do I want that guy to come down here? I don't want that guy to come down there to hit with me. Again, promotional shit for you. We're not here to promote your shit, dude. I mean, and they should know this shit, that we're not here to do that. That's not what we're here to do. You can't call me and say, I'm flying my guy in there to hit with you, and we're bringing demos down. It ain't going to happen. You know, I'll buy the shit off the store. I'll buy the shit on the internet, and I'll just do it that way. I'm not going to turn into that guy. I'm not going to turn into that guy. Thanks, guys. Tune again next week.